Getting ahead financially in your 20s. That's the topic of the day that I want to talk about. Kind of just going to be a random ramble, just some thoughts that I have, some tips that could hopefully help you. For people in their early 20s, their early adulthood life, just kind of starting your first career type job, not odd jobs that you would do as a student, but just out of high school, just out of college, whatever path you took, getting into your career job, a job that would pay more, hopefully would pay more than an odd job that you did when you were younger. But yeah, I mean, setting yourself up for a solid financial foundation in your early 20s is a lot easier than a lot of people make it out to be. There are definitely hurdles. I mean, everyone comes from different backgrounds, everyone comes from different lifestyles, and there are different hurdles that some people have to face that some don't. And as much as that sucks, as much as that's horrible, that's the way the world is right now. And you need to figure out a way to get control of your situation and start working to make it yourself better. And it starts with how much you can save. You gotta figure out your income and expenses. You got to know your expenses in and out. Figure out where your money goes every day, every month, every year. And then figure out what you really need and cut out the stuff you don't need. And then just start socking away money. In your early 20s, your early adulthood life, this is the time to be cheap. This is the time to sock away money. In theory, you wouldn't have any crazy expenses. In theory, you won't have a full-on family yet. I know some people in their early 20s already are in that stage of life where they're married or have a kid. But for most early people in their 20s nowadays, you're not married, you don't have a kid. This is the time to sock away money. You get your first career job, you just got to start socking away money every payday. Every payday, you got to build a base in a savings account, as some say, an emergency fund. And then once you get to a certain point, you got to shift your mindset to investing in the stock market. That's how you make passive income. That's how you make money in your sleep. Your money makes money for you. And it's a mindset shift. I don't want you to think of savings as putting money into a bank account. Where I'm at now, I think of savings as investing in the stock market. That is my savings. And I don't want you to get confused and think you can just stick it in a savings account and you're going to get rich, because that's not how the way the world works, especially with inflation. Everyone's heard that word in the past couple years. You need to put it in the stock market to be able to keep up and exceed inflation. So like I said earlier, you got to make a budget. It doesn't have to be super precise budget. It is probably just helpful to write everything down, to know what your expenses are, know where your money's going, know where you can cut stuff out. There's a lot of stuff in today's world, old consumerism, that people don't need. You don't need the new 80-inch Ultra HD 4K, 8K, 20K TV to watch your Stranger Things on Netflix. You don't need that. You can keep the 1080p 40-inch TV you have now. It'll watch Netflix just fine, trust me. You don't need designer clothes. You don't need super fancy stuff. You can go to Old Navy and Walmart and get your clothes just fine. You don't need all the fancy stuff. I have a laptop right next to me. It's a little old. Does the job though. The screen's a little cracked here and there, but why would I get a new one? It does the job that I need it to do. It connects to the internet. It loads stuff somewhat fast. Not as fast as it once did. But it's like stuff like that. You don't need the new shiny thing. You don't need to go in debt for stuff. That's very important. Get out of debt. No, don't go into any more debt for anything. It's not worth it. It just sucks away the amount of money you can save every month. And once you start working at it, hopefully it would kind of become interesting to you. Seeing your money grow, seeing the amount of money you save by cutting out unnecessary expenses, seeing the amount of money you save, and then at a point, you have enough money saved where you just feel more secure. You have an emergency fund funded, so if your car breaks down, you'll have enough money to fix it. You'll have enough money to cover a $1,000 pop-up expense like your car breaking down, like I just said. That's when you really start to feel secure. You get more confident off of it. You are willing to take more risk in your life. You're willing to explore other job opportunities, other hobbies, other interests, because you know you'll be able to survive for a little bit if something were to go wrong. And then from there, it just starts compounding. You're in your early 20s, compound interest. If you haven't heard that by now, everyone talks about it, but it really is a thing, and it really is crazy to see in action. I've been working on it pretty dedicated for about 4 years now, and even in these past 4 years, I've seen tremendous increase in my investments, my savings. It's been honestly crazy to see. I've never felt more secure. I feel really confident. I'm willing to take risks in life to try to increase my income in certain ways. And I feel confident enough to do it because I have a solid financial foundation. And once you kind of get there, it just changes your whole trajectory of your life. So yeah, this was probably jumbled all over the place, not very concise. I just kind of wanted to hop on and ramble, get my thoughts out there. In comparison to what everyone else out there is saying, it's really not as hard as you think it is. You might have these excuses in your head of, oh, not me, I have a crappy life, I got it dealt a bad hand in life. And yeah, that might be a larger hurdle. More work has to go in to get over that, depending on where you came from in life. But it is attainable for everyone. If you dedicate yourself to savings, get yourself a good job where you can save money and cut expenses. It's very doable for everyone. It's very much doable. So yeah, very rambly, very all over the place, but I'll see if I can get some more concise thoughts, more organized, and go from there.